course, if you're a Washington Huskies fan, unless you're living under a rock, you all know we're going to the Big Ten next year. So I thought it'd be kind of fun here with the offseason in football and the basketball team, basically, unless we have a miraculous run in the NCAA tournament, to break down who are going to be our biggest rivals in the Big Ten, ranking them from our least to the most hated teams. And, you know, a lot of history is being lost by us leaving the Pac-12. And it's kind of sad because we're not going to be playing against Washington State forever, most likely. I mean, the Apple Cup has been extended, but in basketball, we're not going to be playing them. There's not going to be that natural rivalry that we have right now. Hopefully the Apple Cup stays, but they're no longer in our conference, and we have new rivals, I guess, to worry about in the grand scheme of things. So the Big Ten, ironically, 16 teams. Let's rank the 15 we hate from the least hate to the most hate. And that's going to start off with number 15, Rutgers. First of all, they're a team that's joined the Big Ten recently in their last set of expansion, and Rutgers in general is not a team that is that hated. They don't have a really big football history. We did play them a home-and-home series where we beat the living heck out of them. And Rutgers, I mean, there's not much to say about Rutgers here. No real rivalry there. Number 14, Northwestern University. They're going to be challenging us as one of the most prestigious universities in the Big Ten. So there's that. They're a really good academic school. And if you want to talk, we both have purple. I guess there's something, if you're looking for something to hate about the Northwestern Wildcats, I think. It's their color purple is like ours. Number 13, Maryland. The Terrapins, they still feel like an ACC team till today, not a Big Ten team. And there's like nothing I could say back good or bad about Maryland. I know their basketball team was great for a while. Other than that, do you really have any strong feelings about Maryland? I would say I don't, but number 13 would go Maryland. Number 12, Illinois. Illinois, however it's pronounced. Now, here's the thing. The only thing I can remember about Illinois is I think we did play them in football, and we did beat them in the NCAA tournament. I think it was 2006 in March Madness. So there's something there. If you want to nitpick, like, oh, yeah, we beat Illinois in a tournament, maybe they have some ill feelings about us. Number 11, is Indiana. Hey, they gave us Michael Penix Jr. There's nothing to hate there. So maybe they dislike us because they didn't reach as far as Michael Penix Jr. as we did. But other than that, Indiana's another team with no natural rivalry. And by the way, isn't this a show that I know the Big Ten move is good for the school, but isn't it a show we're going to miss the Pac-12 and the rivalries we have there? Number 10, Iowa. I could see us having some really good football games against Iowa, but there's nothing really there to like write home about and say that I really, really hate Iowa. After Iowa, we're going to go with Penn State, another team. Not really much to write about with Penn State. Not a team like, really that hated. Penn State is a team that, we're going to be playing in Happy Valley. So we'll see what happens there. We got 9. Next is Minnesota. Minnesota, not a very loved team, not a very hated team. Another team with just no natural rivalry and nothing really there I'd write home about saying, man, I hate this team or I love this team or anything like that. But Minnesota is a team, cool mascot though, the Gophers, good colorway, not much going on there. Then the rest of these teams, I guess there is like some kind of rivalry if you really want to like dig deep. Number 8 is Nebraska. With Nebraska, both teams were really good, us and them in the 90s. Vying for national championships. So we used to root against them quite a bit. I would say that would be something you can kind of sit there and say, hey, don't like that. After that, UCLA. I know they're a Pac-12 school that's coming with us, but there's not like that hatred of UCLA. They haven't really been great at basketball or football throughout my lifetime. Great basketball school. Obviously, they go to Final Fours and win it and won national championships a lot throughout their years. But in general, UCLA is a team that I can't really say I sit here and absolutely hate their guts. Next is Purdue. What's up with Purdue is we did play them in the Rose Bowl when they had Drew Brees, and we beat them with Marcus Tuiasosopo. So there is a Rose Bowl rivalry there with Purdue, which I guess you could say, I dislike Purdue. After that, you got Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, here's the thing. I just don't like the Buckeyes. plain and simple. So I think their hatred, they're a really good school. They're going to be really good at football. We're going to play really good games against them. I think that's going to get us to a point where we're thinking like, I hate the fucking Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 4, or the last 4, is Wisconsin. I don't really hate Wisconsin, but let's see what we can find a way to do a rivalry with Wisconsin. How do we do that? They go by UW. We go by UW. So 2 UWs. You got to hate the other UW. So let's put Wisconsin on our list. Cheese. The Packers, not really been a fan of them. They beat the Seahawks a lot in the playoffs. So we can kind of say, hey, Wisconsin football in general, not in love with you guys. Number 3, USC. I would say a team, stolen our head coach, Steve Sarkisian. A team that has always been a nuisance to play. They're a great team. Don't like playing them. They're good. They're really good. I mean, USC is one of the best football programs in history of the sport. So just naturally, them coming from the Pac-12 and being a rival team, I would have to say, is a reason for me to sit here and say I'm going to put the number 3 on my list of the most hated teams in the Big Ten. Number 2, Michigan. Michigan just beat us in the national championship. We had a home-and-home series with them in the 90s. That was really intense. I think really the big thing here is that we lost to them in the national championship, and that hurts like a motherfucker. So when it hurts like that, you're going to hate the other team. And obvious to say, number 1 most hated team in the Big Ten after we go to the Big Ten has to be Oregon. Look, we all don't like Oregon. Oregon is a team that, we've had a natural rivalry with. I mean, some Washington Husky fans would even go out as far as say they hate Oregon more than Wazoo. I mean, it's pretty close. It's a toss-up. I know Oregon's been much better in their history, so that also adds fuel to the fire that, we don't like a team that was that good. So Oregon could really, really, for sure, be the number 1 team that we hate the most. Their head coach is annoying. Their colors are annoying. The school's annoying. Their fans are annoying. We don't like Oregon, and that at least we get that rivalry to stick around for the foreseeable future in the Big Ten, and they're joining us in the Big Ten. Us and them, the Northwest schools, hate each other. It's going to be one of the biggest rivalries in the Big Ten in general. I mean, we're not going to ever be Michigan-Ohio State level rivalry for the national audience, but I could see them doing something pretty cool in the Big Ten where, you have their marquee game the day after Thanksgiving between Oregon and Michigan, and then Ohio State and Michigan, and then have us on Saturday in their primetime game every year after Thanksgiving, Oregon UW, as a rivalry game, because I think there's going to be a huge emphasis on that in the Big Ten. Try to build those historic rivals and take advantage of that, like the UCLA, USC, Washington, Oregon, Ohio State, of course, and Ohio State and Michigan. So that's basically the rivals that I just wanted to go out and say those are the biggest rivals for us going to be going into the Big Ten. Let me know who you would rank as your 3 most hated teams in the Big Ten. My name is George Arjuro, George on Tap. This is Huskies on Tap, part of the Sports on Tap network. I thank you for watching till the end of the video. Make sure you like and subscribe because we've moved all our Huskies content from the Sports on Tap here to Huskies on Tap, so you get a more dedicated Washington Huskies feed. So thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next time.